Now that we've seen a number of interesting Excel features and functions, it is time to learn how to create charts, as they allow us to visualize and understand the numbers we are working with. Excel 2016 has a number of new charts. Obviously, all the old ones are still there and enhanced. The main new charts that you are going to see in Excel 2016 are waterfall and tree map charts. Other new charts are sunburst, box and whisker, and histograms, but we are not going to concentrate on them as they are out of the scope of this course due to their narrow application. In addition, Excel 2016 makes the creation of combined charts much easier than it used to be. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. In this next lesson, we will start from the very basics and then gradually increase the complexity of the charts that we will create. Hi guys, you are watching 365 Careers Excel 2016 course, and in this lesson we will learn how to insert the main types of charts that are available in Excel. In this sheet we have the P&L statement that we created in our exercise from before. Let's say that I would like to create several charts in order to visualize the data in a better way. How can I do that? First of all, I'll select the data that I'd like to include in a chart, and then click on the Insert tab. Here you can see the Charts section, where we have various chart buttons. Microsoft Excel 2016 is really great because it includes the Recommended Charts functionality, which will suggest several types of charts to us that are likely to represent the data that we have selected well. Clicking on Recommended Charts, we'll be shown a set of charts that will best fit our data according to Excel. And here we are. We have a column chart, a bar chart, a line chart, and a pie chart. Pretty much the four basic traditional types of charts that we can have. I'll select the line chart and click OK. Our chart is ready. If we change our mind and decide that we would like a different chart, we can always click the Change Chart Type button and select the type of chart that we would like. There are a lot of options. The right side of the window provides us with a small preview of the chart that we are about to select. This is what a column chart would look like, and this is what a bar chart would look like. There are a lot of options that we can select from. The important thing is that you pick the one that best describes the data that you are working with. This is how we insert charts in Excel. In our next video, we'll learn about the Chart Tools menu that we see in the ribbon. Thanks for watching. When we select a chart in Excel 2016, the Chart Tools menu appears in the ribbon. It consists of two tabs, Design and Format. The Design tab contains various preset styles that we can choose from. Some of them are even nice looking. However, most professionals customize their own charts. We will learn how to do that in our next lesson. The Add Chart Element button that we have on the left provides us with a number of options. We can choose to add a chart title, data labels, a legend, a trend line, and much more. Let's say that I would like to add an axis title to our chart. I'll click here and then select the primary vertical title, which would allow me to write the unit of measurement of our chart. In this case, it shows euro in million. Okay, perfect. Focusing our attention to the right, there are a few more buttons that we have to explore. Switch rows and columns allows us to swap the data over the axis. The data that is being charted on the x-axis will move to the y-axis, and vice versa. While Select Data will serve as a function for changing the data range included in the chart. For example, I can choose to modify the chart in a way that it will display other revenues. I'll select the series of data and click on Edit, which enables me to select the new data. Then, once we've done that, we can also change the labels of the horizontal axis. I'll simply select the years that are referring to the data that we have in our chart. Both of these commands, switch rows and columns and select data, are also accessible through a right mouse click over the chart. The Format tab contains many commands that will modify the chart's appearance. A large part of these commands can also be found through a right click and accessing the Format Chart Area menu or the Format Area menu, depending on which part of the chart we've clicked. We will learn how these commands function in our next lesson. Thanks for watching. Okay, excellent. So here is the chart that we had in our previous exercise. Excel 2016 does have some significant improvements in the default way in which charts look when they're designed, but in order to be autonomous and proficient, we have to learn how to modify charts according to our preferences. I prefer to have my charts in Arial. That is why I'll click over the chart and select its font to be Arial. My favorite font size is 8. Don't worry, it isn't too small. Okay, let's do another right click, but this time select Format Chart Area. Here I'd like to remove the fill of the chart and its borderline. Click No for both. The next step will be to render the grid lines less invasive. Let's select the grid lines and do a right mouse click in order to select Format Grid Lines. I'll choose to have a solid line, which is gray and is transparent at 75%. I think grid lines look much better this way. Let's adjust the size of the chart, as we want to have a quarter-page chart. Let's change the colors of the chart a little bit. I'll assign the following colors to each of the time series. See how by left-clicking on just one of them, the whole time series is selected, and this makes it easier for corrections and modifications? Net sales will be in dark blue. Other revenues will be in a lighter blue. Now, let's make the columns of our chart a bit larger. In order to do this, I'll make a right click on one of the columns and select Format Data Series. Once I am in the Format Data Series menu, I'll reduce the size of the gapped width from 150% to 50%. Okay, what needs to be done yet? The default labels are in black, but probably the better option is to have them in white and in bold. The last detail that we have to address is axis scale. I'll adjust that by going to the Axis Options menu and manually selecting the scale settings which I prefer. And here is our modified chart. Pretty neat, right? You can see how many manipulations are necessary in order to render a chart professional and good-looking. I promise you that the extra effort is worth it, because respecting many of these little details shows a lot about your precision and dedication. Hi everybody! In this video, we will learn how to create a bridge chart. Bridge charts, often called waterfall charts, are very popular graphic tools that are often used in corporate presentations. A bridge normally shows how an initial value is affected by a series of intermediate positive or negative values. Microsoft Excel 2016 makes the creation of bridge charts much easier. Previous versions required complicated manipulations and advanced knowledge, while here you simply click a button and your chart is ready. Let's show you how it's done. We have a firm's revenues and expenses ordered in the following way, as they have to be when creating a bridge chart. We select the data, open the Insert tab, and choose to insert a waterfall chart. Then, once the chart is inserted into the sheet, we have to do the following. Click on the final data point of the chart. In our current case, this is EBITDA. Once we've selected the last data point, we need to right-click on it and select Format Data Point. The menu, which opens to the right, would allow us to indicate that this point is the total of our chart. Let's select Set as Total. And boom, here it is. How simple and easy is that? You've got to love Microsoft Excel 2016. Hi guys! In this lesson, we will learn how to create one of the new types of charts in Excel 2016, tree map charts. They are particularly suitable for situations when we have two categories that define our data points, as we have in the example that you see in this sheet. We have three columns of data: country, city, and number of tourists. The two categories are country and city, and the tree map chart would allow us to emphasize the importance of both categories with respect to the number of tourists that visit the cities in each of these countries. A practical example will clear up any doubt. I'll select the data and access the Insert tab. Here we can click on this button and then choose to create a tree map chart. And here it is. We've created our tree map chart. It helps us visualize that the country with the highest number of students was Italy, and that London was the most visited town among all the towns in our chart. This is a great way to represent data that has two or more category types because it helps us visualize both categories at the same time. Thanks. One of the tools that is gaining popularity among Microsoft Excel users is sparklines. These represent tiny graphs that fit in one cell and help us visualize a trend in the data that we are working with. These miniature charts can be helpful when we have data in rows and columns, as they allow us to spot certain patterns and understand the data at a glance. A big plus of sparklines is that they are very easy to insert. Let's add sparkline the data that we have here. The table shows the sales that were achieved by 3 sales agents throughout the year. Let's name the column that stands on the right side of the table as Trend. This is where we will insert our sparklines. I'll select the first cell and open the Insert tab, where we have the sparkline section. Here we can choose the type of sparkline that we would like to insert: line, column, and win-loss. It depends on the type of data that you are working with. For example, the win-loss format could be appropriate when the data includes negative numbers. In our current example, a line or column sparkline would be more appropriate. I'll click on Line, and a dialog box will appear. Here we will have to select two things. The first one is the range of data for which we would like to create a sparkline, which is why I'll pick the sales figures of agent number 1. Then we have to select the cell where we would like to have the sparkline. Given that we were already positioned in M3, Excel suggests to us that we create the sparkline in M3, which is what we want to do. So I'll click OK. And here is our first sparkline. Great! The Design tab that is titled Sparkline Tools contains most of the options that we'll need when working with sparklines. We can emphasize the high or low point of the sparkline, its negative points, or add a marker for each of the values that we have. If we want to modify its appearance, we can do it in the Style section, where we can select styles and colors of our choosing. Let's say that at some point we would like to change the type of the sparkline that we've created. This is how it's done. We simply have to click on Column or Win-Loss, and Excel will modify the type of sparkline that we have. Sparklines are easy to use, as they can be copied and pasted. By using copy and paste, we can create 2 new spark lines that show the trend of sales for the other 2 sales agents of the firm. You should be aware that the delete button does not allow you to eliminate a spark line. In order to do that, you have several options. One of them is to delete the row, but it might be much easier to use the clear selected spark lines command. So these are the main things that you need to know when adding spark lines to your Excel sheets. This can be a very useful tool when you are trying to get an instant idea of the data that you are working with.